it's just a matter of time before they start to get everything ironed out and work. They do have talented players. We know they can bring a lot to the table, and they've posted a couple of good, round scores, but they've never really had any great results just yet, and they just need more practice. So it's going to be a wait and see sort of thing.
It's going to be map number 2, and FaZe's 6th map of the season already. They definitely have a lot to do this week, as Karrigan is going to just be hot. The first point of defense here on B site, and there's actually 5 members stacking up from EnVy, so it's very much going to be a B push. Karrigan just going to be ahead of the smoke, has got an angle, so he might be able to get an early pick and then back off. Does get some sort of vision, but can't connect any bullets, as now they are going to push through this smoke. Jacob comes through to help, though. Can't pick anything up. XMS will get the opening kill onto Jacob. Now Rain's going to trying to chime in, but Sixer overwhelms Karrigan, and now it's just 3 members left of FaZe, and they have to try and retake this one. Bomb's not gone down just yet, but LPK is planting it as Happy picks one up onto Kiyoshima as well, as Alu falls, leaving just Rain on his own, and that is a really strong start from EnVy there. They just bided their time. It wasn't your standard B rush. They waited. They had a little bit of utility to work with. I'm not sure if FaZe were able to deal with that sheer aggression there.
Yeah, always nicely played. You can see the buyouts coming in now as well. These Mac 10s, heavy investment onto the Mac 10s actually, and 2 UMPs. So they only have a little bit of range capability. Those Mac 10s can be a little bit volatile. I would like to see EnVyUs actually go for the pig up long as well. Essentially off the back of that first round on the T side, you want to just use a couple of weapons, probably get 1 AK out if possible, use the range, take long control, and just work your way up towards the A-bomb site, because those pistols are so effective in close range combat, so why are you going to allow them to have the upper hand?
Yeah, you don't want to see anything too silly in these rounds from EnVy. Need to be careful. But this man is deadly with the Deagle, the DD, and whether he can actually do anything with it, he's going to get Molotov off, so he won't be able to hold that aggressive angle just yet. He's going to have to back off onto site, and now EnVy are going to be pushing up long. Rain is going to be there. You will have heard that noise. Now, whether he can hit any of these shots, does spam away with the Deagle, can't find anything, eventually gets sprayed down by XMS, leaving just 3 members now of FaZe. The bomb's going to go down. Should be a formality. It's whether FaZe can just pick up a few kills, maybe be able to escape with a weapon, but Karrigan's not going to be able to do so. Neither's Alu, as he gets his head ripped off, and Happy comes in just to try and pistol away. Scream says, look, if you're not going to finish him quick enough, I'll come in and have a little bit of the juice myself. And EnVy 2-0 up now. That's better from what we saw on Train. On Train, obviously, when they won that first pistol, they did then lose the next round thereafter. So at least they're able to string 2 together. Now hopefully they'll be able to string a 3rd as well, with FaZe being on a full eco here. What do you do in these kind of situations as FaZe, Jackie? Where do you go? Do you just try and stack a site?
Yeah, I mean, you either just go for a stack or go for a bit of a shock and awe style of play. There's not too much you can do. You can't really play these rounds out like full buy rounds. You just have to throw something in and see if it sticks. And that's what they're doing here. Karrigan will get the opening pick off on towards Happy, but Scream has just ripped through 2 of them so very quickly. You can't go on to get the 3rd, though. We'll equalise the situation at 2-2. They grab that UMP as well. Most likely not going to win the round here, but they've done a fair bit of damage to the economy of EnVyUs. If they pick off a couple more players, that'll be good to see. And then obviously moving straight into the following round after this, they're going to be in a good position headspace-wise. Yeah,
Rain with the most health is going to be the most confident player to try and take down more EnVyUs members. He's just holding an angle here at mid-doors. Does get a grenade tagged down to even lower, though. Tries to spray down. His flash banged off, so he's going to have to just hide away a little bit. He knows full well there are 2 players there, so he's going to try and spray through doors as well. Can't quite connect with anything, though. Is he going to get anyone through the cross? No, they're going to now back off to CT. And everyone should survive here unless Rain gets really excited. Just back off, just keep that UMP. And now, 3-0 for EnVy. All those SMGs that they'll probably keep, and I wonder whether this is going to be one of those rounds that you say is just kind of a scouting round, Jackie.
Yeah, you can hold on to those weapons, because obviously there's no point trying to invest more than you need to. Just use those UMPs into this one, that way if you lose it out, you don't completely break your bank fully. You still have a little bit of a buffer left for the later rounds. EnVyUs as well, playing a bit of a split and pixel style. They will just space themselves out, hold their angles, and wait for the pusher to come towards them.
Scream just tapping away in case anyone's going to push him down in lower tunnels, but no one is there just yet. And we saw much of battle. We saw Dust2 twice yesterday, and there was such controversy at A-long. There was constantly back and forth. There was no dominance from either CT or T side, and I wonder whether either team today is going to be able to show who is the dominant one when it comes to those A-long pushes. As now, EnVy are going to decide to push up to short, but as soon as they think they have a little bit of a way in, they do back off, and they're a little bit concerned, and perhaps this is the reason why Manu is deadly with the AWP.
Yeah, Alu. He's on that A-bomb site, he's waiting for the push to come out. They will blind him with the flashbangs, but he prepares himself, waiting to go for these pigs. And what is he actually going to find? Comes out with the opening frag off towards XMS, goes back for more, but it isn't going to work out. RPK was able to slap him down, Absolutely brutal stuff as he gets the bomb planted as well. They're in good afterplants towards upper tunnels though. Happy was trying to delay the lurking Carrigan, but Carrigan was able to overcome.
I don't know if that's where RBK wanted that smoke to go, but regardless, that is going to be where it ends up as Carrigan picks up another one onto Scream, and he's going to be behind Sixer here. He does have an AWP, and we'll pick it up onto Carrigan. He's got a lot to do, 1 versus 3. Can they get the defuse is the real question as he picks up the headshot onto Jacob, but can't find Kiyoshima. Defuse will come through from Rain, and FaZe right back into it to stop the EnVyUs train rolling out of control.
You drop that AWP over as well, so Ali will be able to don that. They've got a nice buyout, everyone looking fairly healthy into this. That's a great first round to go the whole arc, go the entire way through, but can they keep it up? It was fairly damaging, obviously nearly everyone on the team had to rebuy. Sixer as well isn't going to be able to get a tag down towards mid early, so there won't be any advantage this time around.
Jackie, what's your favourite AK skin?
Favourite AK skin?
Yeah.
Probably the Fire Serpent.
Just wanted to know your thoughts. Never answered that question to you before.
Yeah.
Thought I'd double check, because now Envy moving their way down to middle, trying to push up to short once again. Alu's going to take a nice position here though, and he will eventually probably scope in onto short, just behind this little crack by the pipe. He did take it that angle a lot on Tuesday when we saw them play. Unfortunately, it didn't really pay off as they did lose to Kingwin on Dust2. Now they need to set themselves up, and they can't as XMS picks up the opening onto Alu, and now they'll push onto this site, and it looks like there's a little bit of a welcome map, but they may be unaware that Kiyoshima is down a long.
Kiyoshima here. Wait and see if anyone is going to push towards him. There will be that one player lurk. They have got the bomb down as well though. They're in good position. Screen makes it a whole lot better as he takes down Rain as well. So it's a 3 versus 5. Now Carrigan peeks up on towards the side, but it's just headshots galore coming out from the side of EnVyUs. And Keo, surely shout for. He's the last member standing. Cannot win this round. It's going to be so hard for him to do anything.
Yeah, like, he may get away with a save here. I don't know if any Envy are going to bother pushing down A long, to be honest. I don't think they'll bother risking any of their own weapons. You can see they're all just rotating away. Sixer will probably stay relatively close to the site just in case there's any sort of crazy ninja attack, but I think they would have checked all of their angles and all of the nooks and crannies on that A site to make sure that wasn't going to be a possibility. Kia will survive with his life. He's just going to run up and see if there's any kind of weapons he can pick up, but there's only nothing. He'll happily just walk through with the M4. I don't know what he was expecting. Maybe found an AWP on the floor or something. Maybe found an unsuspecting EnVyUs member just waiting around the corner. As 4-1 now in favour of Envy, and the money as well, to be honest, it's awful for FaZe, so it's a lot resting on Keo as Envy bounce up and down on each other's heads and hurtle towards this B site.
Yeah, the aggression towards B here. FaZe, obviously, just one M4 between 5 players. It's going to be hard for them to ward off this aggression if they do just open the floodgates and bombard their way in towards the site. Rain will get a bit aggressive towards mid as well, playing for some information right now. Whilst EnVyUs just hold their angles, hoping that FaZe will make the first mistake into this before they have to execute towards B.
FaZe have every reason just to peek out, try something a little bit different, of course, but speak of different, that's where you can see 5 members of FaZe at B site, and I wonder whether that information is going to be had by the EnVyUs player just creeping up onto short, and whether he's going to see anyone. But look, the rotation's going to come through, all of them just pushing round through middle. FaZe just must have smelt something and changed their mind, but Happy is going to be there to greet Rain. He says hello and then goodbye. As Carrigan is going to try and get aggressive up short. Will he be able to catch Happy off guard? Yes, he will, as he pops through. Kiyoshima gets one onto Sixer as well, and the rest of EnVyUs are going to push up onto the A site and try and get this bomb down, but it is a 4v3 advantage. Just 2 rifles to work with, though.
Yeah, they've gone for that elevated boost, though. Getting Keo up on that high angle. He has been able to get tag off, but hasn't quite found a kill just yet. RPK can get the bomb plant. They're just going for the jump face, hoping to get the tag off, but RPK with the snapshot smashes down Keo. Fantastic way to try and get themselves back into this round in this 3 versus 3. Alu will walk into the crosshairs of Scream as well. Things are going from bad to worse for FaZe. Carrigan tries to equalise the situation a little bit. He will only get 1, and now Jacob trapped with just a measly pistol in his hands. Upgrades to the M4. But Scream will annihilate him.
Yeah, unfortunately with no armour, he wasn't able to control that recoil. It was tough for him. Good stuff from MV, and that shot was a little bit ridiculous. He just said wham bam thank you ma'am as he was trying to go for the jumping shot. It would have been crazy if he'd hit a jumping shot. It always frustrates me when something like that happens. But it can happen, so that's why they do try it. As Envy with a 4-round advantage now, but the buy coming through from FaZe. Alu getting that AWP he so kindly loves, and it's a double AWP setup as well here. This is when FaZe do seem to be at their best, Jackie.
Yeah, FaZe in this scenario right now, this is where it's going to complement their playstyle. This is where it's going to allow them to do the things that they do best. But will this be one of those times?
Wonder if Aloe is caught wind. There are people coming up short. Misses the first shot. Is going to retreat immediately and find his way onto long instead. See if he can take an angle onto short. But Xmas shuts him down. And now it's going to be a lot onto Rain. I realise I just called him Xmas. He's not Christmas. It is XMS. Maybe he should rename himself. As Happy gets one onto Jacob. As Sixer is going to put the black plant down as well. Lots of utility to work with, but he almost burns himself to a crisp as he hits his teammate right in the back of the head. Thankfully, they were able to avoid firing the flames.
EnVyUs looking pretty good right now as well. This is going to be their 6th round snapped up quite quickly. They are storming through. FaZe, they look dominant towards the end of train, but once again, they're just sort of struggling a little bit here. A bit of a slow burner, whereas EnVyUs have come in hard and fast. Everyone is performing fairly nicely. It's good to see. And they are just doing work against the side of FaZe here.
Yeah, and I mean, if we consider how much FaZe did struggle against Kinguin in their opening games on Dust2, then I guess I'm not entirely surprised by the current scoreline, but with recent results, I was expecting FaZe to be a little bit more tighter with their CT holds. They haven't been able to constantly get those orbs, but Carrigan's been able to carry one through to the next round, so perhaps this is a chance for him to make a big difference. But they're not able to buy up completely around it. That's the sad thing for FaZe. There are just going to be 2 pistols in the hands of Alu and Jacob. And Rain going to get down into pit nice and early here. Does have utility to work with to smoke off. Happy thought about peeking that one, but as soon as that smoke landed, he was having none of it. He's Carrigan getting aggressive onto short. Can he find a connection with one of these bullets? That'll be a right nice early pick on the Sixer as he goes down. And I find my West Country accent.
Yeah, nice way to kick it off as he just find that frag, but is it going to be enough into this? Aggression towards mid as well. Scream, you can see getting himself pumped up, waiting to go for that peak. RPK actually took a massive amount of damage as they just went for the AWP shot through the door. Ali will get the information that short has been compromised, but surely just a P250 can't achieve too much as XMS just tears apart his team one by one, dismantling them.
Yeah, and Carrigan was the first one to go down as well with that AWP, and you saw his teammates were trying to recover it, but every time they pushed towards it, they were just getting shut down by XMS, so great stuff from him. Kiyoshima just here on B site as well isn't going to have any sort of an impact over on A. He's not going to go for a retake. Jacob could perhaps wait for some sort of exit frag here, but he's even going to struggle to do that. As Envy slowly getting out of control here, spiraling out of control away from FaZe. And it's going to be tough for FaZe to get back into it. Someone needs to step up. Jacob, look at that, 0 kills. He's obviously just the stand-in at the moment. We spoke about how there is going to be changes to this FaZe side, but he has been performing well. At the moment, though, somewhat lackluster.
Yeah, struggling, unfortunately, to get a frag on the board here. The rest of his team doing a little bit better. The buys will come in once more. The double up setup will reign supreme, but it's double glass cannon. This is scary, as EnVyUs right now are looking like a ball, and FaZe will be representing the China shop. Let's see if they're going to be able to cause some damage into this round.
It's a scary feat, considering how easily Envy were able to shut down Carrigan when he had armor and an AWP. He's got no armor to work with. Is Kyo going to get into pit here? Yes, he can. Throws out a molly. Will tag several members. They are going to be able to back off into the smoke, but thankfully, he did have support from Alu there. As Kiyoshima will roast RPK to a crisp on the barbecue. XMS is going to be able to push out. Knows full well there is someone in pit, but he's flashed off, so can't do anything about it. As Happy will pick up Carrigan elsewhere. And now it is the battle of A long. Can Alu pick up an important frag? Can't quite connect with the Sixer. He was so close there. Could have been so different. He thought there was someone was still on blue, but they weren't. They managed to escape with their lives, and Happy's found himself onto the A site, and also found himself a kill as well.
Take him pushing out up mid now, rattling down these shots. Will eliminate XMS. Happy, last man left standing. He isn't standing for long as Kiyoshima is able to dispatch him. FaZe will get their second round off the board now. And Jacob as well, 2 frags. Finally comes into his own as he was able to do some damage into that round. But can they keep it going? They've done this before. They'll get 1 round and then instantly get reset. And it just makes everything harder for them.
Definitely does. The glass cannon approach did work, though. It did pay off. Sixer, will he be able to tag anyone through middle? No, not today. Reaction skills just a little bit off at the moment. FaZe, as you said, this is a really important round, but that's not how they would have wanted to start. As Scream picks up the opening, Alu will respond onto XMS. Can't find the second one, though. So nearly hit Scream, but Scream's going to find his third. And this man is on absolute fire right now. Not literally, just figuratively, as Sixer picks up one onto Jacob as well, leaving Carrigan on his own to try and defend this. It's not going to be easy, as it looks like EnVy are just going to push on over to the B site, well aware that he's on A. But Carrigan is going to rotate himself here.
Yeah, Carrigan tiptoes over towards B. Gets himself into a better position as he waits for the peak to come in. Will smash his head straight through, spot them out and panic a little bit. Tries to go back into the site now. Six had the angle covered with the AWP and will dispatch him. So it's not going to be too amazing for FaZe there. And look at the economy as well now. Torn to absolute
shreds.
Yeah.
Just like you said, this is it's happened before for FaZe. It's what happened against Kinguin really. As soon as they injected a little bit of life back into the game and put one on the board, they just throw it away when they really needed to put that round. Another one, they needed to string it together if they were going to get into this game. As Rain here on short with the Deagle. Will he be able to tap away and find anything? Does take down Happy, so that is a good start, as Jacob's going to be the first point of call on B site, but he's going to get shut down by XMS. FaZe now going to have to try and retake with little to work with.
Yeah, into this 3 versus 3. They don't have any utility here either. They don't have that all-important kit. They've just got these pistols and they're getting dispatched through smoke as Scream just rattled off a couple of pot shots and was able to eliminate Kiyoshima. That's a beautiful way to force them to just go for a save.
I scream, you scream, they scream. Everyone screams. Performing incredibly. He did do very well on train as well, but it wasn't enough in the end. I wonder whether it's going to be enough this time around on Dust2. Already 8 rounds. It is going to be a 9th as well on the T side, so that's a very confident half already. They'd be happy with just 9 rounds going into the second half, I think. But this could be even worse for FaZe. They could be looking at even 10, 11, 12, 13. Because of aim battles, is it just a case of downing a can of energy drink and trying to get back into the swing of things?
You know, it's a hard one to answer. There's not really much you can sort of say with that sort of stuff. It just depends. A lot of it is based off confidence, and obviously getting into this, they need to try and win this pistol round to at least revive themselves a little bit, get that confidence injection as they go all out long, barraging their way up towards the A-bomb site, towards mid as well. There's going to be one player delaying a little bit, and that'll be Rain. He'll sure be the backstab here, going for the lurk. He is going to be so vital into this round as he comes up from behind. Will get one off, but unfortunately gets taken down by XMS. And meanwhile on the A-bomb site, everyone's getting torn to shreds by Happy and RPK.
Yeah, Carrigan just on his own here, has made it a 1 versus 2. It's against USP, so it's going to be very difficult. Maybe able to get the bomb down though. There's going to be an attempt at some more jumping shots as he's slowly being surrounded. Has to check constantly every angle. You can see the panic in his gameplay. He needs to try and get the bomb down at some point, but whether he's going to be able to get the chance to, yes, he is. So it does look like EnVy are going to decide to stick together and push as a 2 rather than pushing separately, but Carrigan's found himself a USP.
Oh, a nice little opener comes out as he takes down XMS with such a crisp little one tap and the follow-up as well on towards Scream. That round looked like it was over, but blink of an eye, Carrigan is able to do the unthinkable, comes in with such a huge little 2K with that pistol there.
Well, there we go. We spoke about someone needing to step up from this FaZe side, and perhaps Carrigan is the man who's going to answer that call. It was a 1v3 at one point in the pistol round, and we didn't count him out. We said it was a possibility, and he did pull through. So now FaZe need to press on. Got money to work with, got weapons to work with. Hopefully they don't throw this one away, as we have seen them do, as Carrigan continues his fine form from the pistol round as he gets the one tap onto XMS, and Rain will come in and take down Scream, and Scream's been so detrimental to them so far in this game, so with him going down, they definitely have a lot of confidence going into the rest of the round, but it's going to be Alu falling to RPK, but thankfully Jacob and Keo come in to clean it up, and Carrigan finishes things off. So FaZe, as they should have, did just cruise through that round. They put their 5th on the board, and now it's going to be another eco for EnVy, so you'd expect another round for FaZe, but they still have to be wary, still need to consider where they're going to push, execute properly, not do anything too rash and silly that might allow EnVy a sniff back into this and give away a round that is very much theirs.
And the thing is as well though, this will be that final round where they will just need to play a little bit sloppy. They can try and allow this one to get snapped up by FaZe, but XMS actually wants to try and do work into it. Doesn't have a great arsenal, but still does damage with that pistol. Happy as well chiming in. It gets them into a great position here, as they are in a 3 versus 3 after Carrigan was able to take down Sixer. Oh, the follow-up frag comes out on towards Scream as well.
Carrigan doing disgusting stuff. We'll find a 3rd one as well onto RPK, so he's just holding the fort here at middle. Happy's the lone survivor, but he picks up Carrigan eventually. He's just going to back off though, not going to take that fight, not going to go for the defuse. Considers the AK more important here, and that is definitely the right call. They've got plenty of rounds to work with, so they don't have to worry too much about pushing in with such a cushion at the moment. But Happy took such an aggressive angle. It seemed like he was more concerned about trying just to take a weapon away there rather than just surviving.
Yeah, I mean, there is that potential. Obviously, just trying to do damage to the economy of FaZe, trying to not let them balloon out of control too early on. But this will be that first full buy round anyway. There won't be any money to get the AWPs out over on the side of EnVyUs, but utility looks good, and they all have those M4s. Alu as well, fortunately, will only land a tag off on towards XMS. He isn't going to be punished and put down to an early grave, so EnVyUs will still be alive with 5 players into this round.
Big round for FaZe. Carrigan's going to go down, and Carrigan was that key man in the early rounds, in the pistol round, and the following too, to be honest, getting up those important kills. So FaZe find themselves a man down, and here's a big man to go down as well, as XMS tries to rattle through smoke, but can't pick anything up just yet, and now they are going to back off FaZe. Need to decide where they are going to push. They do have plenty of utility to work with, so Rain's going to toss one out just to cover CT and flash in as well, just in case anyone is mid-doors. There are 2 people there, but CT's going to be smoked off. Now he can just push in slowly. FaZe just taking their time here.
Yeah, as they make their approach towards every bomb site. Molotovs go out. Nice angle from XMS as he's allowed to just rattle down, takes down Kiyoshima. Scream as well will chime in with 2 huge frags into the round. Rain, a 1 versus 4 to Dispatch, will come in with a frag off on towards XMS once more as he takes out Scream with such a crisp headshot. That is juicy, to say the least. Goes back for more. Already a 3K into the round. Wants to convert it into the ace. Wants to get round 7 on the board for FaZe. Has the bomb to play with. And he's going to slow things down now. Try and use some mind games. As that 30 seconds. As he goes for this push in towards tunnels, is going to be watching out, seeing if anyone's going to peek in. EnVyUs, meanwhile, waiting with patience as they have these 3 flashbangs to play with, as they just lurk outside of the B bomb site, waiting to peek in, but they peek at the same time. Sixer gets the upper hand and takes him down. Yeah,
right idea, trying to fake, see if we can get the jump on them when they pushed onto the site, but unfortunately, the Y peak punished him in the end, and I mean, at least he made a round of it, but perhaps this is going to be the downfall now for FaZe, with EnVy getting their 13th on the board, giving themselves a chance to get back into it, but there is AKs that are brought across to EnVy, just the 1 FAMA, so still a really strong buy, of course. FaZe with the 1 UMP as well. Need this round. If they lose this, this is probably game over, so probably the most important round of the game so far, especially if you eliminate the pistols, perhaps. As once again, FaZe just slowing things down. They don't want to go for anything crazy. They don't want to be punished just yet. They know this game isn't over, but if they start thinking it is over, that's when you start to see the rushes onto B side, for example, and the game just gets thrown away. It was what we saw against Kinguin, really. It was in this position where FaZe had just given up, it seemed. They really struggled. They weren't going for these slow plays. Instead, went for things that they probably shouldn't have. So it's nice to see that they definitely, you can tell in their playstyle, they still think they've got a chance here.
Yeah, they're still holding on. They're not letting the confidence hit go to them just yet. They're just playing it slow. Rain will be going for that CT drop. Makes his way in. Feel like he hasn't been detected just yet, neither has his teammate. Oh, this is going to be so critical. They can go for this pinch placeable to be bomb site now, the mid to B. And they have no idea how to deal with it. They are going to go for the peaks. They need to try and ward them off, but Kiyoshima gets the opener on towards Scream. Happy and XMS chime in, but Rain will be over to outhowl them. XMS trapped by Car as well. It's not a great angle as he gets shut down. RPK, he's gone huge in the past for the side of EnVyUs, but trapped in a 1 versus 3. Is he going to be able to pick this up? Can he somehow do the unthinkable? The angle is covered by Carrigan, who is just on fire right now as the headshot comes out and shuts him down. Carrigan really is the star player for FaZe at the moment, 21 to 15, as he's just been tearing through everyone that comes in front of him.
Yeah, you can see there his gameplay really showing in his fragging as well. On the other side, Scream, 21 kills of his own. So there's that kind of battle at the moment. Who can be that clutch factor? Who can go clutch more often? As EnVyUs are reset once again and have to go back to the eco. And it's whether they can do anything a little bit crazy and if they can surprise FaZe. FaZe need to press on. They're definitely back in this game. They've got every chance. They're looking confident on their T side. They just don't have that cushion. They don't have that room to work with to throw any rounds away to make any mistakes, Jack.
Yeah, they don't have much of a buffer there, so they need to try and build one up now as EnVyUs, they are just destroying their way through them. But FaZe start to do the same back to him in this round as it's going to be such a quick affair. They have annihilated everyone. XMS had to tasty little deagle shots, but it's nowhere near going to be enough as FaZe pick up another round, get 8 rounds on the board, and should surely claim their 9th as EnVyUs are forced to eco.
Yeah, and FaZe doing similarly what Envy had done to them in the previous half, just destroying their economy at the right moments, forcing out double ecos. Always hard to deal with. Even when you do have such an advantage like this, you start to sweat a little bit. Your heart starts to beat a little bit faster, and when you're that close, when you can almost taste the victory, it gets very frustrating when you're not quite getting there as Rain makes it rain onto Sixer, and now we'll push and try and find a second, which he does onto RPK. Scream gets one of his own onto Alu, and he will find a weapon for himself. Will he? No, he can't quite get it because they are going to take him down, and so they swiftly push in and stop any sort of comeback coming in that round. 13-9 now, and these are the big rounds, as we spoke about. Envy do have that AWP in the hand of XMS. They're going to go for the double AWP setup, so this is the scary factor now for FaZe. Yeah,
get that double AWP out, see if you can start to use that to slow down your opponents. This could really overpower FaZe. This will catch them off guard as well, but it won't matter as Alu annihilates XMS. That's a huge way to kick things off, just destroying him down mid there, and leaves them with a big deficit into it.
I was literally just about to say, Alu only had 5 kills. This is not the Alu that we saw yesterday, not the Alu that we saw earlier on, so now he's getting those important picks. Those kills that are really going to help in this round, as now they have the man advantage, and now they can really pick and choose as to which site they're going to go for, and the site should be weaker. Get that man down, as one of them will have to rotate round and just to watch middle. Make sure that it's not easy to push through, because once you do have mid control and you have that choice, it can be very easy. They are going to flash through to middle though, but no kills found just yet. Sixer trying to find anything onto short as Karrigan will take down Happy over in middle, and Jacob takes down Sixer as well. So they should be able to push onto this A site very easily. Need to be careful about someone on long though. It's going to be RPK as Alu gets his 7th kill of the game. Finally starting to put them on the board. Really important that he steps up. It doesn't matter when he steps up, as long as he steps up before the game's over. And there's definitely a chance for FaZe to win this one. And I think we might have a comeback on our hands, Jackie.
Yeah, there's definitely a possibility here. Oh. Scream. Not someone you usually see shotting the AWP. A weapon that he was never really that formidable with. But he will come out with a nice little opening frag there. But once again, EnVyUs forced into this horrific situation in terms of economy. FaZe have just been annihilating them all of a sudden. They've really started to get the win back under their wings. They've been linking rounds together left, right and centre. But EnVyUs now, they need to slow things down. They need to speak about it and be like, look, this is what's gone wrong. We need to analyse the situation. We need to adapt now and get back into it. We were winning. We're so close. But now FaZe are just 3 rounds away from tying things up.
And in this situation, they're probably not talking about the following round. I mean, this is pretty much going to be a throwaway, as you can see by their money. Are they talking about that round following thereafter and what they're going to be doing on their CT side, what needs to be changing, rather than trying to make some sort of elaborate play with their pistols here?
Yeah, that's what it is. You talk about what you're going to do essentially in this round just to get it over with, how you're going to achieve that, see if you can do some damage to their economy or what you want to go for. But then also, you're right, you want to try and work out what we're going to do on our following buy round, because that's going to be the important one. That's where you'll actually be able to stop your opposition, have something to work with.
Look at the change there as well. Alu at the bottom of that scoreboard, 7 and 20. As I said, before that previous round, he was 5 and 20. It's definitely not the Alu that we're used to seeing. So if he can just start picking up these opening frags, and I really think he's going to be the difference maker once again. Yes, okay, he hasn't been the key player so far. It has been Karrigan, let's be honest. Look at that, 25 frags for him. But Alu, if he can get those early picks, it allows the rest of his team to push in and get kills of their own, to be honest.
Yeah, and that was the thing. That's what he did last round when he was able to pick off XMS. It left them in such a downright hard spot to actually make their way back into it straight away. They invested so much money into that round, and it was snatched away from them in just a matter of seconds. Now it seems like it will be a push towards that A-bomb site. The smokes will go over, then they'll go for the burst outside of long. Actually repositioning now as they work their way up short also, and just lurking outside of long to see if the push will come through.
Can XMS connect with the deagle shot here? Be huge if he can hit Karrigan. Has Karrigan spotted him though? I think he has, and he can't connect with it as Karrigan continues his fine form into this round. And EnVy find themselves a man down, and Karrigan gets another headshot onto Sixer as well, just tallying it on up. Finds his 3rd, as Rain comes in to get the 4th, and that's another 4K for Carrigan. More kills on the board. He's close to that big old 30 bomb. Really performing out of his mind. And I was saying Envy were looking in good form to find their first points of the season. Of course, this is their opening maps of the season. They haven't played anything yet in Season 5. They did lose earlier on, Train 16-12, but FaZe looking like they're coming back into this one. Can Alu pick up an early pick? No, he can't. He's flashed off. Is he going to go back for more? He's got a flash of his own to work with.
So what's this bomb site though? This is where it's going to be absolutely huge for XMS, right? He's the one that in the past has been able to utilize that position very well and come out huge with those frags. If he does so once again, that's how they're going to slow down this push. Has warded them off for the meantime as they reposition now. Possibility of that mid to be play coming out. They do have the utility to work with, and they could then go for the pincer, but they are actually working their way up short.
Making my way up short on Dust2.
They've wasted so much utility as well. They've forced EnVyUs to just drain all of their smokes. They've only got 3 flash rounds just to play. This has been great, because all FaZe have been doing is run down the clock, peeking slightly different angles, letting them know their presence, and just wasting everything. Happy. Look at this as he plays around the smoke though. So much confidence. Smart stuff comes out from man. We'll get the initial frag, but wasn't aware of the positioning of Rain, so he just get punished. RPK comes in with a pick off on towards Carrigan though.
Carrigan going down, really important for Envy. He's been their key player, but it is still 3-on-3. Sixers had to back off to CT. There is a slight gap in the smoke, but as I say that gap is then filled as Scream comes in, takes down Rain, and bomb goes down from Keo. XMS very weak. Will the grenade kill him as well? No, not quite. Can't land that one as Sixer trying to get some information by jumping up. So much on Alu here as he is currently flashed off. And there was already pressure. Now there is an abundance of pressure and he can't find anything onto Sixer. I feel like if this was the Alu of yesterday, he might have had a chance in that round, but unfortunately not able to do so as Envy may be able to stop this comeback from happening. Obviously there is still so much money in the FaZe bankroll, so they can come at it again. Maybe need to change things up, and surprisingly there was a lot of confidence in Envy there on their CT side, despite the fact that this is slowly slipping away, their lead. They were still happy to push through smoke, and that is what paid off in the end.
Yeah, it's going to be hard though if FaZe want to work their way into it, as EnVyUs now 1 round away from stopping it up. Off the back of that prior round as well, they're going to have that hype, the wind under them, as they want to try and win it out. Kiyoshima though can't overpower RPK. We'll be able to just smash him down. Alu as well towards the bomb site. He needs to do something with the AWP, but he won't be able to. Sixer proves too much of a nuisance, scoping in towards Long as well now, just getting off for these pot shots. If he finds another fragment towards the FaZe players trapped out on Long, this could be a detriment to them in this round. Yeah,
this could slowly snowball out of control. I wonder whether FaZe are just going to pack up, leave, and head towards B instead, but someone is trapped in pit, so it's going to be awkward for them. Sixer is going to back off though, perhaps senses they are going to move away, as XMS tried to go for the backstab, but Carrigan's there to continue his insane shooting skills, as Jacob has found his way onto B site, and that information is going to be relayed to his team. If he can pick up this kill onto Happy as well, who's going to be unhappy with that one. Now the rotation needs to come through from his teammates. They are still just hovering around Long, hoping that the rotation will actually come through from Envy instead here. It's just 2 remaining, and it is 2 AWP, so very doable for FaZe, but Scream will pick up 1 onto Kiyoshima. But Kiyoshima was the weak member of the FaZe lineup.
Yeah, now left on 2 versus 3 here. Scream roaming around, being very organic. He's the person that needs to try and create these 1 versus 1s. He's trying to just take the initiative here and make the situation easier. You can see Rain will be playing the lurk, just holding back, hoping to see him pop out towards short.
Just 10 seconds to work with as well, so Sixer, if he can stop this bomb plant from going down, there's every chance that he can win this one. Does find the second one onto Carrigan as well, and that is going to be the round for Envy, as Rain is nowhere near. And it just seemed like time was against them. They tried to push onto the site, and Sixer, I mean, he's been playing incredibly. He's really come into form as of late. He's been out-AWPing Alu, which is something that I didn't think would have happened at the start of this series, but now FaZe 1 round away from losing this second map, and Envy are 1 round away from getting their first points in Pro League this season, as Rain is just going to bombard his way out onto A Long. Doesn't worry about flashes or molotovs, he still pushes out. RPK is full blind, but so is Rain, and RPK finds Rain, looks to try and find Kiyoshima as well, but thankfully Kiyoshima can get the trade.
Yeah, nice stuff on the board there, as it is a 4 versus 4 into this round. XMS though just left with that 5-7 in his hands. Mid control has been taken by FaZe here, as you can see Jacob slipping his way through. Sixer, someone that has been going big with the AWP. What we needed to see from him. And as he starts to pick off the opposition, falls into a 3 versus 3 though now. Oh, XMS actually sneaking down towards lower turns. Will he be able to get that pick off on towards Alu? There's one man close on short as well. That's Jacob. Blissfully unaware of his location, fires off of the 5-7, does get the tag off, can't quite convert it yet, will be able to do so in the end, can grab his weapon, and now it's just a 2 versus 2. The bomb has been planted. Alu is with Kiyoshima, standing over by ramp. They're focusing heavily towards short. XMS does have to drop on him.
Yeah, they're not looking at long just yet. Is he going to be able to find this connection with Alu? He does see him. Can he kill him? Yes, he can. Then Alu going down means Kiyoshima is left as the sole defender for FaZe, but that is going to be game over. Map complete, 16-11 in favour of EnVyUs. They do put 3 points on the league table for themselves. That will be a map each here in Season 5 of Pro League. And FaZe made a game of it. I thought they were going to come back into it, but in the end, it was just some sheer AWPing skills from Sixer that really just put EnVy closer to that victory and eventually got them there in the end. So incredible stuff from EnVy, and that was a pretty exciting 2 games, Jack.
Yeah, very close down to the wire stuff, you know. An interesting result for either side, really, when you look at it on paper. And yeah, Sixer was the difference maker. Once he started to wake up and get back into the position we needed to see him play, he really was the fact that they started to get all of these rounds on the board. Great AWPing skills when he was able to get the openers. Alu as well, just seemed like he wasn't really present towards the end of that game, which is a shame, as he was the one they needed to start to get the opening frags for them. He's done it in the past, but just couldn't do it today.
Yeah, unfortunately, he showed moments of promise in the mid-game, but he never was there at the start of the game or the end.